We've had several new chatters with comrade in their name. That's a good sign. I fucking hate capitalism. I fucking hate capitalism, to be clear. And I know, like, some of you are probably thinking, like, oh, that's so funny that you say that as an American. Because, like, we as Americans, you know, like, we've been talking about suffering. As Americans, we have, you know, basically commodified the suffering of others into being, like, comfort for ourselves, right? And I do. I fucking hate that. Like, literally, I want to live in the woods. Literally, I want to live in the woods. I want to start a commune out in the middle of nowhere and start growing shit and basically just check out of the system. You know what I mean? And, like, yeah, sure. I don't know. I really don't eat that much fast food. Do you use apps for fast food? No, I don't. I actually don't use apps for fast food because I'm like, I don't need fucking apps for fast food. I know it saves you money, but it's like, I shouldn't be eating that shit in the first place. The woods doesn't have Chick-fil-A, mama. See, like, I've thought about it, and I definitely am an eater. I'm an anxiety eater. But the truth is I feel like if I were, like, living, you know, like, if you're like living out on your own and somewhat self-sustaining, I feel like it would take the anxiety out of me and make me, like, not want to eat. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like a lot of, like, a lot of people are under so much anxiety and depression and suffering, you know, under capitalism and under this capitalistic system, that I think that they don't even, like, realize, like, the toll that it takes, you know. Sis, there's no dispensary out there. Girl, I'd start growing my own weed. I'd have to start growing my own weed and everything. There's no Wi-Fi in the woods. Oh, girl, I would have internet, though. Like, I would have basic commodities before I, like, lived out on a commune, you know? But yeah, I think that I would be happy to give up, like, the fast foods. I would be happy to give up the fast foods to live in the middle of nowhere. Like, I don't know, you guys know, like, I go out to, like, my property out in the middle of nowhere quite a bit, and whenever, like, I'm out in the woods and, like, hiking and, like, you know, doing whatever the fuck I do out there, mostly, like, hiking and going down to the river and shit, it's like, I'm not thinking about food or getting Chick-fil-A or whatever, you know, time just goes by. Sometimes there's so much anxiety eating that it's so noticeable in the mirror. Oh, believe me, I know, like, the anxiety eating is really something. Oh, I'm so hungry. That's crazy. The line at Chick-fil-A isn't even that bad. Oh my god, look at this Chick-fil-A line. It's not even bad. grow veggies, support your local farms, put forth effort to cook, spread the info, and capitalism goes away. Right? We need to get capitalism out of here. If we stop buying stuff, what will they do?
Hello. How can I serve you tonight?
Can I get the number 1 with Chick-fil-A sauce, and I'll do a Diet Coke.
Diet Coke on that? Absolutely. Anything else I can get for you?
That's all.
Alrighty, that is $10.37 for you. Thank you so much.
$10.37. Oh my goodness. I mean, that's fine. That's not that bad. It's just crazy.
What's a good name for you?
Casey.
Casey, absolutely. It is a little bit.
I mean, it's everywhere, but my goodness, thank you, sir. The prices, like, oh my gosh, did you hear that? I get a number 1 at Chick-fil-A, $10 for 1 fast food meal. Oh my God, I'm being rated. Wait, who's rating me while I'm in the Chick-fil-A? Who's rating me while I'm in the Chick-fil-A line? This is so humiliating. Oh my God. Hi Anissa. Hi iDubbbz. What's up, you guys? Thank you for the raid. I've just been going around checking out all of the Halloween, the fall arrivals. Well, I just went into Target and Five Below, and it was all trash, plastic crap. Like, I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of this shit. Nothing of quality, nothing good. And now I'm at the fucking Chick-fil-A. I know, it's like so, like, oh my God, me doing my white woman shit, not me going to the Target and then the Chick-fil-A. I love thrifting Halloween stuff. Girl, like, they're like, we have like the red racks here and they'll have Halloween stuff, but these thrift stores are out of their fucking minds too. These thrift stores are out of their fucking minds. Like, oh my God, when's the last time you went to the thrift store? Because I went probably like a couple months ago, and every time I go, I get triggered. I get triggered. Like, I get so triggered going out, and I was just telling that young man at the Chick-fil-A taking my order, he said that'll be $10, and I said, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Like, $10. I don't know how these college kids are doing it these days. Like, what the fuck? Imagine going to, you know, I put myself through a couple years of community college. Imagine going to community college and there not even being a fucking dollar menu, girl. Like, holy fuck. My God. Oh my God. Thank you for the subs. Thank you. Thank you, you guys. Everything is so fucking expensive, right? And in the middle of it, I have this evil millionaire trying to sue me. I mean, trying to. He's suing me. This evil maniac millionaire is suing me. Me, an innocent white woman. And my innocence will be proven. I am innocent. I am. It's actually crazy what these people are doing to me. And I spoke a little bit on that earlier. And I don't know, like, I've been kind of like on my like hippie shit. I've been doing like a lot of shrooms. Not like a lot of like I don't know. The way I made the way I made that sound, it sounded like irresponsible. Like, I won't do like I did, like, the most I did was like 3.5 grams over this week. Like, I did like 3.5 grams, then I did 3, then I did 2, then there was another day I did 1, you know, just like a little bit here and there, because I've been trying to expand my mind. What I always say is, like, I smoke the weed to kill the brain cells, and then I do shrooms to try to grow them back. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've been doing, like, I've been on my meditation shit. Like, I like to, like, I've just been in my meditative state. Yes. Thank you.
You have a great day.
You too. So I've been doing a lot of meditation, you know, along with like psilocybin and, you know, just overall reflection, I guess you could say. And I've been really thinking about what I did, you know, like I've been trying to really think about what I did. The foot fungi, they've been like, you need to take accountability. So I've been really thinking about my reaction to the video and all of the harm. No, not really. All of the harm that I caused. I've been really trying to figure it, you know, I've been really reflecting on that. And I say that jokingly. Obviously, I don't think I caused any harm. I think that I just reacted to a video that everyone reacted to. But, sorry, I've been very rambly today. Let me eat my Chick-fil-A. I'm very hungry. But I've been thinking about suffering. Like, that's been kind of like my theme for today. Like, I've been talking about like, you know, human suffering and how we all suffer and how suffering is like, you know, subjective or whatever they say, you know, like suffering is suffering. And I've been thinking about how, you know, Ethan Klein is suffering and whether or not, you know, like he brought that suffering upon himself or whatever, you know, like that's beside the point. Ethan Klein is suffering. And a lot of people's, I feel like, reaction to suffering is it's like they want all of the empathy for themselves, right? Like, look at me with my suffering. Where's the empathy for me? Where's your empathy for me? Think about me. Think about how this affects me. Think about my suffering, you know? And I've been thinking about how, like, people like Ethan, you know, it's like they want all of the empathy for themselves, but they don't want to give it to others. And I've been thinking about, like, how can you really, like, win against someone like Ethan? And it's like, you certainly don't win against someone like Ethan by playing the same games that they're playing, right? By, like, wanting to turn your suffering into other people's suffering. That's why I ultimately decided it was, you know, good to apologize to AB and Olivia for, like, comparing their suffering to my suffering. Like, all suffering is suffering, right? And yeah, I just, like, don't want to be like one of those people like Ethan that, like, wants all of the empathy for myself, you know, that wants people to acknowledge my suffering while not at least acknowledging their suffering, right? And having empathy for their suffering. And honestly, AB is in a shitty situation. Like, it sucks that in order for him to make that much money, like, you know, Ethan or AB gets paid by Ethan or whatever, and he probably gets paid a good amount, like more than what he would ever make at another job. And he knows that. So it's like he has to placate his boss.
Eat the evil capitalist chicken.
And that sucks, you know, having to placate somebody who you don't maybe necessarily agree with. I don't know. Just because, like, your income depends on that and that's the best that you can do. You know, it's like, honestly, just like fucking bullshit that, like, the best job someone can get is like placating somebody like Ethan. You know, it's like AB should be able to go out somewhere and find another job where he's making just as much, but the economy's shit. So it's like he's kind of like stuck in this situation, right? And I don't know, like, I have empathy for that, whether or not, like I have empathy for, I don't know, like, to me, like, having to, like, let my morals go you know, because of like my job, that would really cause me a lot of mental suffering. You know, empathy is nice, but so is a backbone, and he doesn't have one. Well, see, you also, but like the other thing about that though, is it's like you also can't, like you can't give out empathy expecting other people to empathize with you, because then you're not doing it for the true reasons to do it. You're doing it for the ego. I've been really into like this ego disillusionment, ego death type shit. And I've just been like thinking about how important it is that I'm not, you know, somebody who's just like feeding my ego to feed my ego, right? Am I kind of making sense? I'm kind of rambling, but I've just had like a lot of thoughts on my mind lately. And the cycle, exactly, it's like kind of about like ending the cycle. How can one have empathy if they've never have experienced suffering? Everybody's experienced suffering though. You know, it's just that, like, a privileged person who comes from wealth, their suffering is going to look a lot different than somebody that, like, comes from poverty, obviously. But it's like they still suffer. She's never gonna finish this meal. Well, maybe it's good for me to eat slow. Sorry, I hate eating on stream, but I'm just like so hungry. And we're kind of like, you know, we're kind of just talking. These Chick-fil-A fries though, they really are special. I prefer a crinkle fry. You know, I have to, like, I'm like, what's the best fries I've ever had? And there was this one time, I don't know, like, the best fries that I ever had, it was whenever we had the bar, and I was doing a lot of bar hopping at the time.
Guest who just subscribed.
You know,
hope you are well,
and I've never considered myself an alcoholic. I've always been a pothead, but not an alcoholic. I'm not much of a drinker. Of course, whenever I was running the bar,
I just found
that was an era
on Twitter,
like TLDR. There was like an era. It was from about like 2016, 2017 to 2020 that me and my sister, we opened a little dive bar locally, and we ran it for 3 years, and it really was just like such an interesting experience to say the least. I would stream up there sometimes, even from time to time. But anyway, it was it was during the bar days, and you know, we had been at our bar. Our bar would be open until 1 a.m. and then usually after that we would go with like a group of people to like the next bar. You know, that's what the alcoholics do. And so we had done that, and it was like probably 3 a.m., you know, and the bar that we went to, there was a McDonald's close by in walking distance, and you know, I was a little high. I was definitely high. I was buzzed. We walked to the McDonald's across the street, and I still think about this McDonald's that I got. It was the best McDonald's that I ever had. It was like probably 3 a.m. and I got a 10-piece chicken nugget and a large fry and a Coca-Cola, and it all just was like you know, it's like you've had the McDonald's McNuggets whenever they're fresh. You've had them whenever they're not so fresh, and whenever they're fresh, they're really good. But these McDonald's nuggets, I don't know what these people did. I think they double fried them. Or something. It was like they were extra crunchy, and it was the same with the fries. You know, whenever the McDonald's fries, it's like they have like this really crispy outside, and then it's like the center is almost like, in a way, hollow, but not. It's just like the potatoes are so fluffy and light on the inside. Oh my god, all of the fries were like that. Who's this person backing in next to me? They're playing a dangerous game. What are they doing? It just seemed like they were a little close, but it's like, why did they have to do all that? I still think of those fries, though. Those were the best fries I've ever had. I don't even think it was because I was drunk. I had had fries and McNuggets drunk before. This time was different. You saw Adam McIntyre's video and cried over my statement. Oh, girl, I was crying too. Whenever I wrote that, I was just like fucking crying. You know, like one of the things I guess that I've kind of struggled with over this past like week, I took some time off, and you know, like I've been kind of like depressed and anxious, and I feel like the thing that really fucks with me is I definitely probably have CPTSD, right? I definitely probably have some sort of complex PTSD disorder, as many of us probably do. It's really crazy the way trauma works, especially whenever you start thinking about like how it routes in your brain. But there was, I would say, from about like 2012 to 2016, I always refer to it as like the worst time in my life, which is crazy because it was also whenever my stream was blowing up. So you would think that it should be, you know, like a great time. And like certainly streaming made it more bearable. And I don't think I would have been able to survive it as well as I did without streaming, because obviously streaming made me more money, and it also allowed me to have a flexible schedule. You know, like there were so many times I would basically have to like fake DC my stream and just leave to go help my mom, because she would do like, you know, the call and then just put the phone down kind of stuff. Like that would happen like pretty regularly. So streaming allowed me to be able to, you know, just leave. Whereas if I were at a normal job, like it's like I wouldn't be able to just be like, hey, I need to make sure that my mom isn't getting murdered, you know. But yeah, I would say there was like about a 4-year period of my life, and whenever you're under stressors like that for such an extended amount of time, it really like fucks with, you know, like I would say like kind of like that fight or flight feeling. And this whole lawsuit thing, and you know, like the potential harm that it could do to me and my family, it's had me back in that kind of fight or flight kind of headspace. And it's like the wiring is all fucked up, and it's like it takes me back to that same trauma. The PTSD girlies get what I'm saying. I think you guys get what I'm saying. And that's been kind of a struggle. It's been kind of a struggle, like going back to like that feeling of just like a fight for survival. But I keep on telling myself, I'm also like, I don't know, it's like I'm built to operate during it. I don't know. You know? It's like, I guess I'm kind of built for it. Like, oh, I'm a fighter. Let me tell you, I am a fighter. Not physically, but I will fight. I will fight and fight and fight. I will argue. And I can get people pretty fucking good with my words whenever I really want to. Oh, we know you love fighting us. I'm so sorry you're being forced into a corner like this, but keep your head up and keep fighting. You know, I keep on telling myself, I'm like, this isn't even the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I've been through the worst thing, you know? So... I always have to eat all the fries first, right?
I just found this new person on Twitter named CaseyTron. Ooh, she is so cool.
Zoggy_420.
It just feels like too much at a point, you know? Like, I've been thinking about it too, and like, there's even a part of me that can feel sorry, or not sorry, I guess I would say empathy for Ethan. I couldn't imagine being so obsessed and caught up in my own ego that I were willing to just do so much harm just to feed my own ego, you know? Like, I think that's really sad that somebody is so caught up in their own ego and feeling like everybody else needs to be like sorry for them or whatever, that they're like, all right, well, you know what I mean? Little man, big ego. Just like to be so caught up in your own ego that you get like a little bit hurt and you want to see others suffer so much because of it, you know? I don't know how to explain it exactly. It's just kind of sad whenever you think about it. You know, to be so caught up in your own ego that you'll go that far to feel like a bit of like a win or something. But yeah, thank you guys for all the support and all the kind messages. That's like one of the other things, you know, like I feel like when I got through the worst time in my life that I was talking about earlier, where it was basically like my mom was dealing with really, really horrific abuse. It was really horrific. It was really bad. Like, I literally thought he was going to kill her. Fuck, I can't even remember what I was going to say now. Oh, but during that time, what I was going to say is, like, I feel like during that time, it's like I didn't have a lot of support because I was too afraid to really talk about it publicly. Of course, I had the support of, like, my family and my sisters, you know, because we were going through it together. But to go through this now and have, like, so much online support, you know, really gives me a lot of hope. And then it's also kind of just like fucking funny and speaks to how much the internet thinks that Ethan is awful, that they're like, oh, he's doing another awful awful thing. Fuck Ethan, let me support you. You know what I mean? Shit, thank you. I don't have my alerts turned on, so I can't hear them for myself right now, but thank you so much for the 10 gifted. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you, Zoggy. I've never gifted 15 subs in one stream. Well, thank you so much.
Bonus hold Charlie Kirk just gifted 1 subs.
Oh, wow.
Jesse Carroll just subscribed. Welcome back.
The sounds. I'm so sorry.
Bonus hold Charlie Kirk just gifted 1 subs.
That man doesn't leave his mansion in Beverly Hills. You're grounded and honest. People like your humanity. Oh, I'm very real. I am very real. And, I don't know, like, I feel like I've had, like, a lot of life experience for someone my age. I've had, like, a lot of life experience, and I don't know, like, especially, like, even, like, during the bar days, you know, it's like I talk to all sorts of different people from all sorts of different walks of life, and, you know, like, in a bar setting, sometimes people will really spill to you, you know, like, I've had people, like, you know, spill all of their pain, all of their suffering, like, I've cried along with, like, strangers, you know. I've seen, like, firsthand, like, the suffering of alcoholism. That was one of the really sad things about the bar. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've had, like, a lot of life experience that has just shaped me, I guess you could say. Thank you guys so much for the subs. Sorry, I cannot hear them on my end. I don't have it turned on for me on my phone because of this microphone. But then if I take it off, it'll double the sound, so... Oh, I will be victorious. Like, the truth is I feel like I'm already winning. You know, it's like if you look at how certain people are doing, it's like they're definitely not winning. You know, not that I'm like, I don't know, like, I definitely have some things not going great in my life, you know, as far as, like, finances go. But it's like I've been poor before. You know, like, money isn't everything. Money isn't everything. Like, I mean, it is a lot of things, though. Like, being poor fucking sucks. But I still have, like, my family, and I have people I care about. I have friends that I don't have to, like, pay, you know? No, you're exactly right, Goldfart. You're exactly right, Goldfart, because that's exactly what it is. It's like whenever you've been poor, you don't really, like, long for money. You long for stability. Like, I'm not afraid of not having money. What I'm afraid of is not having stability. You know, like, I've worked really hard to have the bit of stability that I do, you know, like, coming from a poor family and being, like, housing insecure, like, housing security is fucking everything. And like, that's what I'm the most afraid of, is losing my house, you know, which it's like, it's a very humble home. It's not like some big mansion or anything. It's just like a regular fucking suburban home, you know, nothing special. But it's like the only stability that I have. And with this lawsuit, you know, like, I could potentially be drowning in so many legal fees that I have to like foreclose on my home. You know, like, they could literally like force a foreclosure on me and put a lien on my home if I'm not able to like keep up with legal fees. And yeah, that's it. Exactly what you were saying. Like, it's not like, I don't want a lot of money. The only thing that I really want is stability, like, for me and my family and the people that I care about and love. But honestly, also for everyone, you know, like, I was able to get into my home in 2016. I got a home in foreclosure for like $100K. You know, my home now is probably worth $300K because of how fucked up the housing prices are. And there's a part of me that like looks and it's like, oh, that's cool that this home that I got, you know, for $100K, it's already up to like, I could probably make $300K back on this. But it's also just like, that's so fucked up, you know? That's so fucked up that like, it's like, well, housing being so high has made my house worth more, you know, therefore like giving me, I guess, more assets. It's like, I don't really necessarily want that. Like, I wish that you all could get a house for a reasonable price. It's really fucked up what they've done to housing. It's really fucked up what they've done to housing. Like, it's honestly so fucking bad. It's actually just like fucking abysmal. It's appalling. It's like so fucking appalling, the state of housing costs. And I know you all watching, you already fucking know, it is fucking crazy. Especially whenever you compare it to like the income that people are able to bring in. It's just so off balance. And it's so fucking made up too. You know, my neighbor across the street, it was funny, yesterday I was like tripping shrooms and the neighbor across the street, like, I saw him, because like we'll have like fires and stuff and people will come through, and some of the neighbors were hanging out and he was like, yeah, I did shrooms earlier too. And later that night we were both tripping, and I like was going outside in my front yard, and I saw him outside in his hammock, and he came over and he was like, you know, handing me his pipe. We were smoking some weed, and he was just talking about like the fake economy. He was like, yeah, I don't know what these fucking rich people are doing. It's like their money isn't even fucking real. It's like, it's fake. And I'm like, no, you're right. Because it feels like the laborers, you know, like the earners, it just feels like the amount of money that they're able to bring in, you know, in comparison to like the landowners, basically. It's just like, where does it even come from? You know, there's just so much abundance at the top and so much scarcity at the bottom. It's very appalling. And I think like some people, you know, not to like brag or any, like, obviously, like, I'm not bragging, but like sometimes I'll go out to, you know, like LA, and, you know, some very like affluent influencers, you know, like they'll have like their parties and stuff, and it's just crazy to see like some of the wealth that you'll see, you know, in places like that. And then I'll come back home to the Midwest and it's just like, damn, you know. But then you'll also see it in LA, like, you know, people with, you know, mountains and mountains of money, and then people sleeping on the streets. It's just, I don't know, like, it's so depressing. Best part is a lot of those influencers are also in debt. No, you're not wrong. Our country is fucked. Oh my gosh, like, I've had like two things I've been like doing lately, or like two big interests. I've been like on this tangent. So one of my big interests lately has been unlocking my Kundalini. I've been really into the meditation, and this has been like a few years now. I would say probably like 3 or 4 years in the making that I've been getting really into like the meditation and different yoga practices. And whenever I say yoga practices, I'm not talking just like physical yoga, because like the way they'll talk about it and like Eastern spirituality and shit, which I'm still trying to figure out, it's like there's a lot more than just like physical yogas where you're like stretching and shit. It's like other kind of, you know, mind, body, spirit exercises that you can do with yourself and whatnot. Like I've unlocked my Kundalini and shit, you know what I mean? So that's been one of my big interests. And that Ram Dass, I just love Ram Dass. I've been listening to like a lot of his audiobooks and stuff, and oh, it just gives me life. Like I'll be listening to these Ram Dass. Ram Dass is like this Ram Dass, he was actually like a Harvard professor of psychology in the 60s, 70s, and he got really into LSD whenever the LSD craze like hit the college campuses. So he was a college professor at Harvard who taught psychology, and whenever LSD got really popular in the 60s and 70s, he did a fuck ton of LSD, and he basically after that like started getting really into like the Eastern religions. Like he traveled to India and studied under a guru and shit, and he brought like a lot of those like kind of Eastern spiritual practices to the West. And I've been listening to like a ton of his like audiobooks, and I'll even listen to some of his like retreats. Like he would like have like yoga retreats and shit. He passed away several years ago. He lived to be probably like 70 or 80, but he spent his life, you know, doing like basically like meditation retreats and studying Eastern spirituality and trying to teach it, you know, in a way that Westerners could understand, I guess. But yeah, I've been really into, like, I remind myself of my grandma whenever I was young, and she'd be like listening to like her preacher, like tape cassettes and stuff. It'll be like that. But oh my gosh, he just spills so much. Some of the shit that he says, it's just like, damn, that's fucking deep. The Eastern spiritualities go really hard. The thing that I like so much about them, and like, God, the Abrahamic religions are all just fucking trash. Maybe they weren't that way to begin with, but they've just been like kind of, you know, co-opted to be all about like fire and brimstone and punishment. It's so psychotic how the Abrahamic religions can get. And then, you know, like them also always fighting over whoever's like holy book is right or what the fuck ever. But what you'll see in a lot of like the Eastern religions like Buddhism, Hinduism, you know, whatever else there fucking is, like I said, I'm still like studying it. You know, there's kind of like, I feel like a bit of like a mutual respect for them all, because they all have like the basic understanding that, you know, we are one, God is everything, we are God type shit, you know? But it just spills so hard. So I've been like kind of reconsidering my spirituality, and I do consider myself to be a holy woman. I consider myself to be a holy woman now. I also consider myself to be a Jesus lover. This is like kind of like a new era for me, my Jesus lover era. But I've been on this tangent about how we really need to take back Christ from the Christians. We need to save Jesus. Jesus has been saving us, girls. We need to save Jesus from the Christians. Jesus is our icon. Okay? Jesus is our fucking gay communist icon, not theirs. Okay? Get it fucking right. Jesus is our icon. Jesus was a bisexual, pansexual, communist person of color. He is our icon, not theirs. And it's time we take back Christ from the Christians. Jesus 100% would not fuck with these fools. No, and they got all of his shit wrong. They got all of his shit wrong. They don't listen to any of the shit Jesus actually says. Jesus did shrooms too. It's true. I'm like, it's getting a little dark. I need to take off my sunglasses, girl. I'm just hanging out in my car eating Chick-fil-A, talking about the Bible. Honestly, I should have gone in. I should have gone in and talked to the other Jesus lovers. Maybe they'd get me. No, they would be like, this woman needs saving. And I'd be like, no, I need to save you, girl. You've got it wrong. I need to go home and smoke weed. I've hardly smoked any weed today. I've only had like 3 bong hits. But yeah, good real talk, you guys. It's been a lot of real talk today, and I apologize. This is my first day back after being on a bit of a hiatus. I was gone for I think 3 weeks. It was nice. It was nice, honestly. I did a lot of cleaning, a lot of organizing, got caught up on some stuff. And then basically what I did is the first week, I went fucking crazy. I went balls to the fucking wall. My balls, they were fucking everywhere. Balls to the wall. My balls were on the ceiling. And, I was cleaning, I was organizing, I was going and doing so many things. And then, as soon as I got it all done, I just fell into, a deep depression. I just fell into a deep depression, in kind of an I had a deep depression, anxiety, kind of, I feel attack, I don't know, over the lawsuit shit. And then I was what am I gonna do? And then I was well, I need to do some shrooms to get my mood up. So I started self-medicating with shrooms. And I'm over that now. I did enough self-medicating, over the past week. I'll take a break for a while, of course. I just know these foot fungi, they're going to be acting like I'm some sort of, crazy drug addict. And I fully understand that, shrooms and weed are drugs. But it's whenever you've actually been around real drug addiction, it's just very laughable the way that they'll kind of do they'll do their pearl clutching over weed and shrooms and shit. Whenever you've actually been around pretty fucked up drug abuse, you're or even alcoholism, it's just like weed or shrooms is like a non-factor. But then there's definitely some people that I would never want to be around while they're on shrooms. I don't know, like some people, they can't handle shrooms. In my opinion, the people that can't really handle drugs like shrooms or weed are the people that are very like egocentric, that are very like caught up in their own ego, and like losing that sense of self even just like a little bit, it freaks them out because they're so used to being so trapped in it. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about developing weed dependency since it won't give me liver failure. Yeah, my dad's been sober. Oh, he'll be coming up on a year. My dad's gonna be coming up on a year sobriety from alcohol. He still smokes weed though. And he did shrooms with me a couple weeks ago. He'll do shrooms every once in a while. But I think that's all he'd ever do. I need to get home, girls.
Halloween's not my favorite.
Oh, wow.
Because I always feel as though that's a recast for the killer. Don't you keep it back from Yankee Stadium in your night table draw? You're so convenient. All you have to do is close
Thank you so much for the subs.
Hype train started.
We're on a hype train. Thank you guys.
Just subscribe. Hi, Mom.
Oh, wow.
Okay, here we go.
So when